What's up, guys? My name is Garrett. This is actually going to be the first video that I'm posting to this YouTube channel. Back in the day, I used to post videos here and there. It was either like Photoshop tutorials or Call of Duty clips, montages, whatever. I always enjoyed it back in that time. Just the freedom and the creativity to kind of, post whatever you want to YouTube. So I'm the type of person that likes to DIY as much as possible. Not only because it saves money, which I don't have a lot of, but also because I just like to figure out how things work. It's really interesting to me to figure out how things kind of work mechanically or electrically, whatever it may be. And I'm always searching for videos on YouTube, like if I don't know how to do something, and I figured it might be worthwhile to kind of capture some of the things that I work on from time to time, whether that be car related stuff, or I do a lot of projects around the house. And I thought it might be helpful for maybe somebody else who's kind of like me that likes to DIY a lot of shit and ends up going to YouTube. So what I'm actually working on today is I have been slowly rebuilding an engine for this car behind me. It's a BMW E46, 2001. And I actually picked up this engine behind me. Would have been about 2 years ago now, with the hopes of it being a kind of quick swap replacement. So the deal with that is the engine behind me is a 3-liter. It came in the 330i, and the E46 that I own is a 325i. So the kind of deal with that would be that it would be, it's the same, the engine comes out in the car already, so it should just be, pull the old engine out and drop the new one in. That did not end up being the case in this instance, because once I pulled the oil pan off of that engine, there was a ton of metal shavings in there. So I actually basically opted to do a full rebuild. So I tore it down to the base block and then restarted from there. So actually what I'm working on right now is reassembling the hydraulic lifters. So I had a problem where a lot of these, so basically you end up with this spring mechanism on the inside here, and you want that to have a little bit of actuation. So essentially how these hydraulic lifters work is they will sit on the back of your valves. So all along the head here are your valves, and this guy sits right on the back of that. And so what happens is your camshaft will have these lobes, and they're out of round because, well, if you've noticed that all along the camshaft here, your lobes are slightly clocked from one another, and that is due to the different firing order of your cylinders. So as your oblong portion of your cam lobe goes and touches against this guy, that will get compressed, and that will actually push your valve down, which will either, depending on which side it's on, will either allow air in or be allowing air out of the cylinder. So it's very crucial that these guys have some spring to them so they're able to return to place. Otherwise, you might end up with things like valves that are stuck open, which in this case, since this is an interference engine, would cause a lot of problems, because you want your valves to be closed at the top of the piston stroke so you don't have your piston interfering with your valves, which would cause critical damage to your engine. So now I just want to take a quick look into all the parts in these things. So you have your what I'm going to call the piston of the lifter, which is your main body.
you have this guy, which I'm going to call the plunger, which captures this one-way valve as well as a spring. So now we can actually take a look at the assembly order of the lifter. So you want to take your one-way ball valve, and that actually has a little recess on it. And the spring is meant to fit right into that recess. And then you take the ball valve and the spring and you throw that right into the what I was calling the plunger. So you end up with that guy. And then you want to go ahead and put that subassembly into the piston of the lifter. And once you get it kind of seated, I'm just using a punch, nothing sharp. I don't want to actually, mess up any of the plungers, but they're made out of some hardened steel anyway, so you should be good. So I'm just going to take a punch, give it a little whack, give it another one just to make sure it's fully seated. Okay. And I just want to check after I get that plunger fully seated that I'm getting that spring action, which I have there, and that I can freely rotate it. And that's pretty much it. They're pretty simple to put back together. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and catch back up with you guys after. All right, so I got all of my hydraulic lifters reassembled, and then I actually went ahead and took a paint marker and remarked all of the hydraulic lifters. From what I've read and other videos I've watched, it's very important to keep these in the order that they came out of the head in, because actually your cam lobes will wear with these. And from what I understand, you want the cam lobe that were with the hydraulic lifter to be mated to that. So went ahead and put them all back together, got them marked up. Something I noticed while I was working on these actually, my intake side hydraulic lifters and my exhaust side hydraulic lifters actually look slightly different. It's maybe hard to see on the video, but you can see this one, the actual piston of the hydraulic lifter, the molding actually creates a cavity for our plunger to sit in, whereas this one doesn't have any of that like side molding or pre-mold for our plunger to sit in. It just kind of sits down in there on its own. It's just kind of an interesting thing. Apparently at some point in the years that the E46 ran, and of course all the other models that this engine was in, BMW must have switched the design. I'm just kind of curious which is the more updated and why they ended up switching it. Was it because performance reasons? I don't know. Just kind of curious on that one. Something funny I noticed. But I am just gonna run, one of each. Only because kind of the parts that I've collected for this engine, everything's kind of Frankenstein. Because when that engine actually had blown up, there were certain components like I believe it was my intake camshaft that was all tore up. So I actually had to source another one on Facebook Marketplace, which is why I have these guys with the slightly different piston style there. But I think it's fine. I'm just gonna run it. My goals for this engine aren't anything crazy. I'm just gonna be running it stock. So I don't think something like that should affect my performance too much. So that's kind of it as far as the hydraulic lifter reassembly goes. Now that I have all those put back together, I should be able to throw those along with the cam ledges and the cams into the head on that engine, get everything fastened down, and then the next step after that, I guess, is going to be timing the engine, and then throwing on some accessories, and it should be about ready to go into this car. So yeah, I guess I don't really know
what I'll plan on recording and everything, but there's plenty to do yet. I guess I could probably show the timing process. That's been covered a million times, but I don't know. We'll see. But hopefully I'm planning on doing more videos in the future. It's kind of just a fun, fun creative outlet for me. So we'll see what happens, but until the next time.